unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Boxing Ego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live.
Hey, yo, hold up. Hold up. Hold up. I know I didn't hear what I think I just heard. Lamont Roach, after his draw with Gervonta Tank Davis, he talking that big boy talk. And he basically makes it sound like Gary Antuanne Russell, the bigger Russell brother, he makes it sound like he was ducked by Gary Antuanne Russell. In this video, I'm going to get unpacked, let you know everything you need to know. Let's jump into it. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, a fight I am looking forward to, Lamont Roach versus Esau Pitbull Cruz. It is a title fight. It is in December. It is a very good fight. Styles make fights. Lamont Roach, more of a boxer, but he kind of fights more like a boxer puncher. And he's moving up in weight to fight a mad aggressive guy who spams the combination buttons in Esau Pitbull Cruz. And the thing I like about the fight, outside of what I just said, the clash of styles, is I truly feel that a guy like Pitbull Cruz, it looks on paper, or like if you're watching him, it looks easy enough to beat. But I digress. I really feel you have to fight Pitbull Cruz in the right fashion, or you're going to have a long night. Now, he's been beaten by Tank, been beaten by El Rayo, so there's definitely a pathway to beat him because he has losses. Even before Tank, he had a loss. But what I am saying is, if you don't know how to fight that type of style, that type of laboring, constant in-your-face pressure can break down very good fighters who even have more skills than Pitbull, more technique, more fundamentals, right? So you guys like that are always dangerous until you get rid of them or go to 12 rounds with them and beat them soundly, because, again, you have an in-your-face guy. And here's the other thing. You could be more skilled, but what happens if you don't have the power to really deter him and stop him or drop him or get him respectful, and you're not in dog shape? If you're in dog shape, okay, you can go 12 rounds, but he can outwill you. That's basically what I'm getting at. If you ain't in dog shape, you could be in for a long night. Like if you had a extreme weight cut, you could be in for a long night. Now, I know the fans are like, all right, man, enough with the preview of the fight. Tell me more. Tell me about this Gary Antuanne Russell situation. I thought you would never ask. We're going to talk about that right now.
Sabril Matias, who you'd be on course for in the WBC. Your Washington brother, Gary Antuanne Russell, has has the WBA belt.
Yeah.
How do you feel about other than Matias?
So right now, what you're listening to, first of all, you listen to me. I'm the best in the business, and it's not even close. Boxing Ego, a.k.a. Ego, the people's champ. Y'all know what it is. This is a clip from Lamont Roach being interviewed by Dan Rafael, who is a longtime boxing reporter. So just so you know, this is what you were listening to. Roll the clip.
That's the one you would be probably steered towards based on the organization. How do you kind of feel about the wealth of talent there? And in particular, you didn't get to do the rematch with Tank, who's your DMV guy, all you from DC, him from Baltimore. Russell's like a big time all DC championship showdown.
Oh, man, I love that fight. If people don't know, so the options that were presented to me by PBC were Pitbull, Gary Russell Jr., Gabriel Flores, and somebody else. I I told them no to Gabe. I told them.
Hey, yo, right off rip, I don't believe Lamont Roach, for the record, because I have sources and it let me know, and I actually know the Flores family, for the record. So I was informed from my sources that they had a deal in place to fight Lamont Roach. However, the Pitbull fight came about, and because of the Pitbull fight, that was a more attractive option. Probably got paid a bit more because it's a title fight, right? So now Gabe Flores is fighting in Stockton on a Matchroom card, and the Lamont Roach thing went away. But I trust my sources in this game, and the information I was fed was not that. He just said, I turned down Gabe Flores. And the information delivered to me was not that at all. It wasn't so much that he was opposed to ever fighting Gabe Flores Jr. as opposed to it didn't work out because you got an option maybe you like more. But that's not what he just said. You get what I'm saying? Like, if I'm like, I went to prom with Nicole and I told Monique no. But then you talk to Monique and find out that she told me no. These are different things. If I tell you I turned her down, I turned the BZ down, right? But then I'm telling people in an interview that I was the one that turned them down, and then you get the full story and find out that wasn't the case. So for the record, I had to stop it right there because I trust my source that he was going to fight Gabe Flores, but then, I mean, things change. I mean, Tank was probably going to fight Lamont Roach until the Jake Paul fight presented itself. Similar story, you know what I mean? It's boxing, so you're going to take the best offer and the most money, more than likely. Another I could do this all day. I'm boxing ego. You know, the receipts don't stop. The receipts don't stop at all. So there's Anthony Joshua. Before Jake Paul, he was supposed to be on the ring, like a ring 4 card, and he was going to fight against Cassius Chaney, right? But hey, fight on the undercard probably as a tune-up with Cassius Chaney, or fight a former YouTuber with a big brand and a big name on Netflix for big bank, a big bag. The choice is very simple. So I'm not mad at Lamont Roach for picking the bigger fight because it is a bigger fight and he's probably getting more moolah. But to frame it like you were not going to, I don't think that's right. I think you could have been like, they gave you a couple options. Gabe Flores was on the table, but I felt the Pitbull fight was more lucrative and bigger. I can respect that. But to make it sound like you never wanted to fight him, come on, bro.
Pitbull, Gary Russell Jr., Gabriel Flores, and somebody else. I told them no to Gabe. I told them no to Gary Russell Jr. because what the hell has he done in the last 4 years? And why does he think why would I gift him a title shot in his second fight back in 4 years? And
that would have been at 130.
And it would have, they said 35.
Hey, this man is cooked. Hey, yo, see, here's the problem. Here's the problem right here. This right here, Lamont Roach, see, I already caught him up. I pay attention. I listen to what people are saying, and it got to make sense. So I already called him out on the first thing with Gabe Flores, right? And please, if there's somebody out here who's connected that's not Lamont Roach, but an industry person, prove me wrong that he wasn't going to fight Gabe Flores, or at least there was kind of a verbal agreement kind of deal in place, right? So I've already exposed that. Now he just said another option was Gary Russell Jr., Gary Russell, the one that fought Magsayo. And he was like, why would I fight him? And why would I gift him a title opportunity? And it was his first or second fight back in 4 years. Why would I gift him? This man's head done swelled up Megamind, the cone heads, right? Unbelievable proportions. This man's ego, no pun intended, and his head done swelled up after the Tank fight. Your whole claim to fame is you didn't get knocked out by Gervonta Davis, that you scored a draw and Tank took a knee, which really had nothing to do with you or a punch from you, but whatever. Now he's talking about somebody who's been out for a while, fought Lomachenko, a guy like Gary Russell, also a DMV fighter, it would be a good fight. And he's like, why would I gift him? Like, you're just the king of England. You know what I mean? You're Floyd Mayweather over here. And it's beneath you to fight Gary Russell Jr. coming off a draw that you didn't win. In fact, I thought Tank won the fight, but I've already talked about that. Unbelievable. And then I just caught him up in something else he just said. He was like, why would I gift him? Why would he get an opportunity, a title shot with me? And then the reporter said, oh, so they wanted to fight at 130 pounds? And he said, no, they wanted to fight at 135, lightweight, where Lamont Roach is not even a champion. Huh? So you're fronting on Gary Russell Jr. He's been calling you out. Gary Russell has been like, I'll fight him. Let's make the fight. You're fronting on him like, what has he done? He ain't really done nothing lately. He's been too inactive, even though he made a comeback and got a stoppage. And then you're saying, why should I gift him a title opportunity? The reporter says, oh, they wanted to fight at 130. And you're like, no, PBC wanted to fight at 135, where you're not a champion. You did not, I don't know if it's registering. You didn't beat Tank. So you're not an actual champion at 135. You're a champion. I don't even know how you're a champion at 130, given the fact that you ain't fought in 130. You're about to fight at 140, 10 pounds higher, and you ain't defending your belt or whatever. So I don't even know if you can make 130 anymore, because you just did. I already did. You outweighed Pitbull Cruz at the 14-day weigh-in, and you weigh more than the guy who's fought at 140, Esau Pitbull Cruz, and you came in almost 150 pounds, 148 and change. So a lot of this stuff is not making sense to me. I'm the king of boxing talk. This is why I excel. This is why I succeed, because I don't let people just tell me stuff. I really am into boxing, and I'm really the sport. I am boxing. So at the end of the day, you can't just tell me stuff and I know it don't match up and I'm just going to run with it. So that made no sense. Once again, we'll play it back, and I want you to pay attention. He's fronting on Gary Russell, like, why should I gift him an opportunity at a title? And he's only a champion at 130, not 35, not 140 where he's fighting Pitbull Cruz. He would have to beat Pitbull Cruz first. But we're talking about your options before the Pitbull Cruz fight was established. These were the options. So nothing you're saying makes sense because you're not a champion. You didn't beat Tank. Roll the clip.
I told him no to Gary Russell Jr. because what the hell has he done in the last 4 years? And why does he think why would I gift him a title shot in his second fight back in 4 years? And
that would have been at 130.
And it would have, they said 35. That's weird. But,
that wouldn't have been a title shot, I guess.
It wouldn't have been a title shot. Exactly.
Right.
So now the man just admitted what I just told you. I got to be the king of boxing talk, the best in the business, and it's not even close. He's like, they wouldn't have had 35. And then the reporter, shout out to him, Dan, corrects him, said it wouldn't have been a title shot, which is exactly what I said. It wouldn't have been a title shot. And he was like, yeah, it's kind of weird. I mean, it wouldn't have been a title shot. But you just said, why should you give a title shot to Gary Russell, who's been inactive? What has he done? Like he's beneath you. This man is delusional, bro.
What the hell has he done in the last 4 years? I told them no to Gabe. I told him no to Gary Russell Jr. because what the hell has he done in the last 4 years? And why does he think why would I gift him a title shot?
Why would I gift him a title shot? See, here's the thing. Boxers be getting mad at BOXINGEGO. I don't care. You're going to have to stay mad because I'm holding you to your words. What you said. You said, why would I gift him a title shot? I let the world hear it. And then come to find out, the fight would have been at 35. You're not a champion. But wait, there's more. You didn't beat Tank. Even with the knee, you complained to the commission. They wasn't effing with you. The fight stands. It's not even a no contest, no decision. So what title shot at 35 where you're saying and revealing they offered you to fight are you even talking about, bro? You're just making stuff up.
Gabe, I told him no to Gary Russell Jr. because what the hell has he done in the last 4 years? And why does he think why would I gift him a title shot in his second fight back in 4 years? And
that would have been at 130.
And it would have. They said 35. That's weird, but you know
right, that wouldn't have been a title shot. I guess
it wouldn't have been a title shot exactly. Right. And he's like being disrespectful. Like, it's not gonna work like that. No, sorry, scoot over,
bro. This Tank fight that made this man lose his mind. You came from irrelevance. You're a good little fighter. The whole time you were with Golden Boy, no one really knew who you were except for me and diehard boxing fans. Tank gave you this opportunity, and then you backdoor Tank. He was being cool with you the whole time up until the fight and after the fight, right? And then now you think you like a superstar and streamer, and you saying stuff that it really don't make sense, cuz. So I can't wait for this Pitbull Cruz fight, but what Blood is saying ain't making no type of sense. You talking about offering a title shot when you ain't got no title, huh? That's like a homeless dude asking me if I want to rent a room. Like, rent a room where? You outside, bro. What are you talking about? Oh, man, Ego, you want to rent this room for me? I got this Airbnb. You got a outside B&B. You ain't got no Airbnb. Yeah, fresh air because you homeless. Ain't no homeless person finna ask me and try to provide me shelter and they don't even have a home. You see how that you're saying, why should I give someone a title shot for a title you don't have? Somebody make this make sense. I know I'm smart. I know I'm intelligent. I know I came in the game. I made boxing look pretty, but y'all make that make sense because right there, it's not making sense to me. Talking about why should I give him a title shot for a title you don't have in that division, right? No, they offered to fight at 35. That's weird. The only thing's weird is what you're saying right now, partner. And he was like, scoot over. He said a mean thing to me. Bro, boxing is chopped. Right now, this new generation of people, they are not holding it down like the founding fathers of boxing. I'm here to let you know. Hopefully it improves. But right now, trash. We have fighters. Canelo just did it. He was like, why should I fight David Benavidez? David Benavidez is mean to me. Huh? Lamont Roach, he pulled a Canelo. But, I mean, Canelo did it. It was horrible because he did it with Benavidez. But the very least you can argue Canelo is super accomplished, make more money than mostly everybody. He's in the top 1 percentile of earners in current boxing. And you can at least say that. Like Canelo, he's earned his A-side spot. So I still don't rock with it, even from a Canelo. Fight Benavidez. The people want to see you fight him. You'll fight welterweights like Crawford. You know what I mean? You'll fight 54-pounders like Crawford and Charlo. You'll fight Jose Cito Lopez, but you too good to fight Benavidez because he was mean. Now you just heard Lamont Roach say the same thing, bro. Boxing looks pathetic, truly pathetic. What part of the game is it where people are saying rude things to you and that now becomes the reason you don't fight them? Like, if somebody is bagging on you, roasting you, clowning you, trolling you in your weight class or close enough to it, and they're disrespectful, isn't that more the reason that you should fight them as opposed to what he just said?
35. That's weird. But, you know.
Right, that wouldn't have been a title shot, I guess.
It wouldn't have been a title shot. Exactly.
Right.
And he's, like, being disrespectful. Like, it's not going to work like that. No, sorry. Scoot over.
So, again, he think he Tank, he think he Canelo, he think he Floyd. Scoot over. And then now he's talking about fighting his younger brother.
And I told him, we said yes to Pitbull Cruz, but we countered, and it's like, let us fight Gary Antuanne Russell. That was my first option, me, personally. That was my first option. I was like, scratch those and ask Gary Antuanne Russell, does he want to fight? Yes or no? Straight up.
I guess the answer was no. And you guys don't know each other from, you know.
See, he's basically, by remaining quiet, when the reporter says, I guess the answer was no, you're kind of insinuating Gary Antuanne Russell ducked you, which I don't believe.
Scoot over. And I told him, we said yes to Pitbull Cruz, but we countered, and it's like, let us fight Gary Antuanne Russell. That was my first option, me, personally. That was my first option. I was like, scratch those and ask Gary Antuanne Russell, does he want to fight? Yes or no? Straight up.
I guess the answer was no. And you guys don't know each other from, you know, being running in the DC circles, I assume.
Yeah.
So if you win, maybe the unification, you can will give him a reason to maybe fight you.
That's what I mean, because he actually said that too, and from a champion standpoint, I understand. He said that I fought at 130. I haven't done anything at 140. Okay, I give you that. But after I make some noise here, I'm not trying to hear that no more.
Bro, what is this man talking about? He just said Gary Antuanne Russell told him that I'm a champion at 140. You're a 130 pounder. You haven't really done nothing at 140. So why should I be looking at in your direction? Lamont Roach is like, oh, I understand that I haven't done nothing at 140, but after I fight Pitbull Cruz, I ain't trying to hear that. What are you talking about? After you fight Pitbull Cruz, if you were to win, you will be a champion at 140. So just like the reporter just said, it would be a unification. So yeah, I'm sure if Gary Antuanne Russell told you that you ain't done nothing at 140, so there's no point at the moment to fight you, right? Beating a relevant name like Pitbull for a title, yeah, I'm sure that would change things. But you got Lamont Roach super big-headed, like he's already walked through Pitbull Cruz, and he talking about, I ain't trying to hear that. Bro, he's telling you do some damage, do some work at 40, and we could get it rocking. And this guy's talking like he's Gervonta Davis or something, where he called all the shots. Very weird.
Okay, I give you that. But after I make some noise here, I'm not trying to hear that no more. That's
you'll be on roughly the same schedule. You're fighting Pitbull in December on the 6th. If you win, you'll have that interim belt. You know, he will have a fight. I assume they're going to reschedule him on the Jake Paul event that was postponed. He was supposed to defend in his mandatory against Hirioka. Maybe we'll see it. But in the meantime, it's Pitbull Cruz.
So there's that. Lamont Roach, I feel like he's gotten real big-headed, like he's the superstar of boxing and he's a shot caller and he picks the plays. I don't see any of that. You didn't beat Tank. You didn't get a title there. You're fighting for a title. PBC looked after you. You know, you had a good outing, I guess you could say. So PBC took care of you, gave you an opportunity with Pitbull Cruz. You still got to get past him, bro. And now you're talking about, I can't fight Gary Russell Jr. What's he done for me? He talking crazy, and that's your reason for not fighting him. But you want to fight his younger brother. You know what I mean? Why not fight them both? Fight Gary Russell. If you beat him, now it makes the Antuanne Russell fight even bigger. That's what I would do. Like, these fighters got to smarten up and think like actual entertainers as well. Like, it's like kickboxer. That's the whole premise of the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, is Tong Po whooped his brother and put him in a wheelchair. And then Van Damme has to, Nasu Kao. Van Damme got to avenge that. So why not fight Gary Russell Jr. and then if you can beat him, then fight his brother? And to act like you the shot caller and turning down names off of a draw is wicked. You were not even relatively, you were very unknown fighting on Pro Box, dropped by Golden Boy or whatever happened there. And then now you're acting like, you know, everybody's ducking you and I don't need Tank, but you keep mentioning Tank. Just weird behavior. But nonetheless, the Pitbull fight is a good fight. We'll see how he looks, but he got to win here, all the stuff he's been talking. For more boxing news, daily content, fire conversations, subscribe. We unpack. Live streaming can be tough, which is why I use StreamYard. Click the link in the description for StreamYard, which is an awesome tool that enables you to set up your stream with ease of use. Get great results with live streaming. It's what I use. Stream to social media with ease with StreamYard. Live streaming is here to stay. Engage with your audience using StreamYard. Great way to reach out to your audience and connect. So you need a tool that can do that. If you're new to YouTube and you're struggling to get views, one tool I can provide to you is TubeBuddy. I've been on YouTube over 10 years. I use TubeBuddy daily to crank out videos just like this one that you're watching. Learn how the pros do it with TubeBuddy. YouTube receives a lot of traffic, which also means a lot of creators, a lot of people putting out content. So you need to learn the ropes so you know how to separate yourself, especially if you're new. But even if you're a pro, use TubeBuddy. The link is in the description. Get more views, more subscribers, and a higher click-through rate, so ultimately you can realize all of your online goals. Use my affiliate link in the description and grow your channel fast.